Making a good Minecraft update is simply impossible. Microsoft can't do it, Mojang can't do it, not even the players can do it. Now you might disagree with me by saying that the 1.16 Nether update was good, but it ruined the Nether's vibe for some people. And these kind of problems plague every single update, even your favorite. Updating Minecraft isn't like updating other things. If you want to update the average game, then it's pretty easy. Just add stuff that is specifically about what the game is about. For Mario Kart, they added new tracks and characters because it's a racing game. For Roblox games like Jailbreak, they add new vehicles and robberies because that's what the game is about. But for Minecraft, what is Minecraft about? Seriously, this isn't a rhetorical. Is it about building, redstone, modding, farming? The fact that no one can clearly define the one thing that Minecraft is about shows how vast it is. And this is both a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing for the game because of its accessibility. No matter who you are, you can enjoy Minecraft if you do the right things. If you're competitive, you might like PvP, for example. This is the biggest reason why Minecraft is the best-selling game in the world, with over 350 million copies sold and over 200 million monthly active players. So that's why Minecraft being so vast is a blessing. But why is it a curse? Well, if you talk to someone who plays Minecraft, just general Minecraft, then you'll almost certainly play different things. You might like Skyblock, they might like Bed Wars. You might like horror mods, they might like pure vanilla. Point is, you both like different things in the same game. You can fine-tune this game to a point where it doesn't even look like itself anymore. Here's Tetris, or music, or a working calculator. Minecraft allows you to do anything while still being Minecraft, but that also means that the people who play it are different. You might hate one thing and love another, and someone else might hate the thing you love and love the thing you hate. This is fine most of the time, because you have the freedom to spend your time only doing things that you like, and they can spend their time doing things that they like. But with a game as big as Minecraft, Mojang has to get a really wide approval, since they're pretty much the only developers. This is how it works. Mojang get wide approval, people praise them, people buy game, Mojang get money, Mojang happy. Mojang get wide disapproval, people attack them, people don't buy game, Mojang don't get money, Mojang sad. Now of course Mojang isn't the only developer, there's also Microsoft, but nearly everything they make is bad, so we'll ignore them. So because Mojang kinda needs the wide approval of over 200 mil players, they need to carefully think of things that will appeal to not just one group of players, not 6 or 7, but most or all. Ideally it would be all, but that's mathematically impossible since there's infinite things to do in the game, so let's keep it to most. This is part of the reason why it takes so long for them to make updates. They have to carefully consider different playstyles. They have to think of all devices, computers, mobile, and even consoles. This is actually the #1 reason why bundles were added so late. Bundles were supposed to be added in 1.17 with everything else in that update in 2021, but ended up being delayed by 3 years. This is because the concept was super easy, barely an inconvenience on computer, but for other devices, how would consoles deal with this? How would phones deal with this? This ended up taking Mojang years to figure out, which is why they came out so late. So yeah, figuring out the same thing on different devices can be really difficult sometimes. As I've said before, different players play in drastically different ways. There are plenty of features that have been added recently that most players immediately dismiss as useless just because of their playstyle. For example, some players think that the glow squid is useless, and I admit its mob vote was pretty bad, but the mob itself isn't. No, the glow squid doesn't glow, and no, the glow squid doesn't drop ink sacs, but it drops something that's probably equally useful: glow ink sacs. This item is perfect, just in case you want to light up a sign or an item frame. And sure, it doesn't really make the thing itself provide light, but it does give a really nice outline for signs. Like, look at this light blue text on this oak sign. The text is very faint by itself, but after applying a glow ink sac to it, it's much easier to read and much better looking. The reason why I glaze glow ink sacs so hard is because my playstyle specifically really likes using them, but yours might not. Now this could be for a few reasons, maybe because you don't like how it looks, or maybe because you didn't know about it until now, which are both fine, but your playstyle might not use it, but mine does. A common item that's used by a lot of players, but not me, is the netherite helmet, and its chestplate and leggings and boots. I don't wear a netherite armor, I think it's ugly. It's just my opinion and I don't use it. You might though, and that's totally okay. Since Mojang has been Minecraft's creators for over 15 years, they know the game almost completely, and they know that different players have different play styles, and they know that they have to adapt their updates and features to as many of them as possible. This is insanely difficult to do, which is why it takes such a long time and why they fail a lot, but they are trying. I'll use the happy ghast as an example. They are super useful for survival building, they aren't as resource wasting as elytras, but they're also not dangerous to use. You just get a happy ghast, put a harness on it, and fly wherever you want and peacefully build. You can easily easily build a floating house using this mob. Happy guests are super useful for a survivalist building playstyle, but if you're a creative builder, as in creative mode, and not survival, you don't really need to use them. You can just fly instead. So unless you like how they look and or want to build a happy gas station, you're probably not going to interact with these things in creative mode, but a survivalist probably will. And I'm convinced that Mojang knew this before making them. No feature is going to be liked by everyone. There's always going to be reasonable haters and lovers for every edition, and it's impossible to stop this. Sometimes updates might as well not exist for some people, since either they hate the additions or they just don't care to use them. I feel like 1.20 Trails and Tales was an update like this. I really only remember it adding armor trims, which I know are used by a lot of players, camels, which almost no one uses, and chiseled bookshelves, which almost no one uses. For my specific playstyle, I never actually had to update to 1.20 because I'm not really interested in any of the features added, but you might be. But thankfully, Mojang also releases community-loved updates like 1.16. This drastically transformed the Nether from a desolate wasteland into a really interesting and living place with vibrant colors and structures to explore. This update really didn't do anything negative for the game, only positive stuff, and this is also what 1.22 should do for the end update. While the Nether isn't used by all players, most of the community uses it a lot, and use of it dramatically increased after 2020's Nether update. But there's a problem. Some players don't even go to the Nether, either because it's scary or dark or lack of knowledge or for religious reasons. Some people just don't go to the Nether, which is exactly why this update isn't perfect. Yeah, it updated the overworld by placing a new structure in it, but that structure, the ruined portal, is literally only used to go to the Nether. So if you're a player who primarily enjoys the overworld and end, and not the Nether, then 1.16 was probably a meh update for you. An update that was similar to 1.16 was 1.18 Caves and Cliffs Part 2. It majorly updated the overworld by changing a lot of terrain generation. It made mountains taller, increased the build height limit to 320, changed bedrock to deep slate, made mega caves, made diamonds much more common, and those are the reasons why so many people love this update. But to some people, this update was terrible, because it ruined the terrain generation that they previously loved. These people don't like the tall mountains, deep slate, and other stuff that this update added, and therefore they don't play it. And some people were disappointed by the update, because its additions were supposed to be in 1.17, but got delayed. This is why 1.18 wasn't perfect, and it goes the other way too. 1.9 was universally hated by the community because it updated combat when no one wanted that. But some people loved 1.9. They liked the new combat changes, the Elytra, and the end cities. And this is contrary to the opinions of most people, but they're still valid opinions held by passionate Minecraft players. So 1.9 wasn't completely hated, and 1.16 wasn't completely loved. There will never be an update that is completely hated or completely loved. Not because some people want to be contrary, or because some people have incorrect opinions, but because everyone has a unique playstyle that differs from most of the community. And if Mojang fails to add something that's going to be used by most players, at least it's going to be used by some players. In fact, I'm willing to bet that there's at least 100 people who use cursive binding on a daily basis. And remember, none of this is anyone's fault. It's just Homo sapien psychology. Some people love some things and some people hate some things. And that goes both in real life and in games. It's not Mojang's fault that they make bad updates for some people, and it's not the player's fault that they don't like the updates that Mojang puts out. Because making a good or bad Minecraft update is simply impossible. Anyway, thanks for watching this UIT Minecraft video. Jesus is Lord, and until next time, undefeatable army.